We're trying to help people out, which is what a community is supposed to do. And so that's what I thought Chino Valley was. That's why I moved here in the first place. So take that under advisement, please, and thank you.
Well, it all started about 3 years ago. We have a daughter that has a major disease, and we wanted her to move back home so that she could be with us so we could take care of her. So we decided that we would put a second home on our property. We called the city and we found out that we were allowed to put a second home on our property. However, when we got ready to do that, they gave us all the verification on what we needed. We were going to put a manufactured home. It had to be over 400 square feet. It had to have a tag on it from the state of Arizona, manufactured home. So we went through all the rigmarole to do that. We went and actually bought a manufactured home to use as a second home on our property. We're ready to file for our permit. We were denied. And it said that we could not put a manufactured home as a second home onto our property. And then that's how this all kind of started. So we asked, can we go in front of an appeals board? Why can't we put a second home on our property? And then we came to find out that they were trying to say that our home was actually a motorhome or a recreational vehicle or a travel trailer. And I said, well, it's 12 foot wide. There's no way you can take a 12 foot wide travel trailer down and put it on the road and get a license for it. But that's what they gave us a citation for, and that's kind of where this whole thing started. So as we kept digging in, we've had to take the city to court. We've went to court 2 different occasions, and on both occasions we have won, where it basically says that what we have is over 400 square feet. It is 12 foot wide. The city did come out and measure it, but they still refused to give us a permit to put a second home on our property for our daughter. So I was just furious and thinking, oh my gosh, why do we have so much? This is Chino Valley. This is a simple little town. This is a simple thing. But they wanted to double down on it, and they put their feet down and they said, no, we're not going to approve that for you. So that's how this whole thing got started. And then the more research I found out, the more I found out that there is a lot of things that are going on in the city that they're not even following their own rules and regulations. So we are 100% in compliance to put a second home on our property as a manufactured home. We're getting ready to get the septic permits. We had everything all ready, but they will not approve our permit to do that. There's not much now, except now I'm to the point where I guess they've awakened the beast in us, and we're just tired of being treated like this. They're just running roughshod over the citizens of Chino Valley. We're the citizens. We elect them to represent us, and then they won't even go ahead and acknowledge it. And this has been going on for 3 years. I've been very nice. I've wrote 29-page reports to them on all the different things that are going on, and they just want to ignore everything that we talk about. They want to ignore it, and they keep doubling down. And that's right now our major emphasis is to try to get the town council that is currently in there, when it's time to have a vote, we want them out and get people that really care about the people of Chino Valley and want to take care of their needs. We're a small town. It's quiet. We all like to have quiet. We all moved here because it's a quiet town. We don't want all these problems, but they're wanting it to be like Scottsdale or Glendale or Cave Creek, but we're not that. We're Chino Valley. We're not even Prescott. So that's all we're trying to do, is give the people, put the government back to the people and let them make decisions. And if you have a piece of property, it's your property. You should be able to put on it what you want to put on it. Well, the main thing right now is we got to just start standing up, because silence is killing us, because they're just passing things left and right. It's unbelievable the things that they're doing. And there's a a nationwide thing that's going on right now, and Chino Valley's now a part of it, and they're trying to redefine everything to take away all of our rights. So basically what I'm trying to tell everybody in Chino Valley, if you don't like HOAs, we need to start standing up, because they're trying to turn the whole town of Chino Valley into an HOA. And I'll give you a perfect example right now, is that if they decided this week to say everybody wanted a canary yellow house, and they approved it, and they said in 6 weeks everybody's house has to be canary yellow, we have no rights, we have no recourse to tell them that no, we don't all want a canary yellow house. But they are able to pass and do whatever they want to do.
Call to the public. Call to the public is at the discretion of council and not required by state law. It is an opportunity for the public to bring items of concern to the council. Each person is allowed 3 minutes to state their issues. The passing of time from one person to another will not be allowed. This is consistent with all the Quad City government bodies. Council will not respond to questions asked, but may refer the issue to the town manager for further review. We will follow state law while conducting call to the public. Disrespectful behavior will not be tolerated. This includes loud outbursts, profanity, and disruptive private discussions among our audience. If you need to have a private discussion, please step outside. Violations of these protocols may result in expulsion from the meeting.
Citizen of Chino Valley. Earlier in the last couple of days, one of our citizens posted on the Nextdoor neighborhood webpage encouraging people to come to this meeting to ask the town council to remove ordinance 4.9.1. And if you don't know what that is, I'm going to read just that section. No travel trailer, motor home, recreational vehicle, or boat stored on residentially zoned parcels or lots shall be made suitable for on-site occupancy unless permitted in the specific zoning regulation. Evidence of an on-site residency shall consist of at least 3 of the following conditions, and it lists about 5 or 6 conditions. I'm not for removing this ordinance. We have zoning regulations for a reason, so we have nice neighborhoods and not travel trailers everywhere and stuff like that, and people not living in a home. I don't think travel trailers or recreational vehicles or a motor home is for full-time residency. So I encourage the council, should anyone bring this forward to you, I'm not in forward of removing that section. Thank you.
Thank you.
Resident here of Chino Valley, and I'm not on either side, but I really want this town council to make a decision on what they're going to do with travel trailers on the property. This is the situation that's going on right now. The developmental services and the code enforcement department right now are issuing some citations to some people, but however, they're not issuing citations to other people. I had filed in the past on some different things, and I'd just like to bring up just one that was filed all the way back on 7/15/2020. This was here in this town. Is some people are getting citations and some people aren't. The ironic part on this whole thing is we turn this into developmental services and it says no violation. I'm not quite sure how it wouldn't be a violation having 5 of those on his property. And I also have probably about 150 other codes that have been sent into the developmental service department. However, they all have no violation on that. So my question to this board is one of 2 things. Is there's derelict of duty going on in code enforcement, that they're not doing their jobs and following up to take care of this issue, or the other problem is that's discrimination. If some people are getting citations for having this on their property and 150 other people are not, so are you going to keep the regulation there and enforce the law, or are you going to dissolve the resolution? There are a lot of people in this town, unfortunately, do not have places to live because you were just talking about it earlier today. But there is a problem that's going on here and it has to be addressed. And I'm asking this board to do an investigation with the Developmental Service Department to try to find out why we have no violations here in regards to that. Thank you.
Came up and spoke last week, and it has been brought to my attention that I owe an apology. Anyone who works with children knows that you shouldn't act out when the children act out. And so I owe the council an apology because I didn't know who and what you were. You made that very clear last week by getting up and walking out of the room, which is what children usually do when they don't like what's being said. So I owe you an apology. I didn't treat you properly on that. I also owe the town of Chino Valley an apology because I normally don't let things get under my skin. So that being said, I'm here also on the UDO 4.9.1. We live in a downturn economy. We could argue back and forth. I've been told actually more than once that these statements here in front of the town council, and then even privately emails and whatnot are brought onto deaf ears. But I think that we can move. I think we can move past that, and I think you guys can hear. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. We live in an extremely downturn economy. When I bought my property in the end of 2019 here in Chino Valley, I looked up the code. The code said I could have up to 6 RVs on my property as long as it was zoned in the right area, and it seemed to be zoned in the right area. That somehow got changed. That's fine. I understand how that works. But we fall into the same situation that Mr. Mark was talking about here. And I understand the other lady, we don't want our city to look trashy, right? We don't want that. So the easy answer here is to change the code. I'm not for removing it. I'm saying we need to change the code. The code needs to be, you can have RVs on your property, but you have to keep them maintained and tidy. We live in a downturn economy. There's no place for people to go. That's first and foremost. Second, the code needs to be in such a way that it can't be used as a bludgeon. Because I found out that the person who complained about my property is Vice Mayor Perkins, and I don't even know you. And I don't know why in the world you'd complain, because I keep my stuff clean and I keep my property clean, and we're trying to help the community, and we're trying to lift people up and give them a place to stay and a place to live so they're not living in Safeway's parking lot or on the side of the highway, right? We're not running slums around here. We're not getting rich on people. We're trying to help people out, which is what a community is supposed to do. And so that's what I thought Chino Valley was. That's why I moved here in the first place. So take that under advisement, please, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're moving on.
I'd like a chance to respond with the attorney's permission.
Mayor, under state law, at the end of the call to the public, a individual council member can respond to criticism.
Where'd he go?
He's over there. Back there.
Sir, you are correct. And I made that complaint after seeing multiple RVs and vans and everything else come onto your property right across from the school, the elementary school, and not in violation of the code. So you are correct. I was the one that made the complaint. That's all. Have a good day.
Current event.